What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Have a special video coming at you guys today. If you guys are YouTube golf fans like I am, you've heard of Scott Hogan Golf. It's actually pretty cool. I was watching him before I even started or even had the thought of making a first YouTube video, so pretty cool experience here to be able to collaborate with him. This is actually the second round of this series, if you will, basically doing a kind of a home style challenge. The first video was up on his channel. Go check it out. It was Mistwood. That was Scott's high school course, so I recorded that. At this point, it was probably close to 2 months ago. There was snow on the ground for that one, and I got the better of him on that one, fortunately. But today, the reason why this one took so long, I apologize to anyone out there that saw that one and was looking for this one, but basically I've been committing since the start of this year to committing to finally hitting a draw, at least trying to. That's the goal. So I've been grinding out here for the past almost 2.5 months or so, trying to really fix my swing and correct some of the flaws that I've been having. So this is actually the first round of Home Tee Hero that I'm playing since then, so I guess at some point you got to take the training wheels off, but we'll see how this goes. I'm not admitting defeat and I'm not conceding already, but there's a very high chance, I know it's Scott's shot, pretty high chance that he beats me here, so we'll see. Real quick for the rundown before I go through a couple other notes I want to mention. Home Tee Hero on the screen that's running, powered by the Garmin R10 behind me on a DIY level stand, Country Club Elite mat, my DIY stance mat here, that's getting pretty dirty. 10x7 nets and a brand new Callaway super fastball. Using the new driver, first time recording around with the new driver. Hopefully I'm going to have that video up before you see this one. There's a couple housekeeping and scheduling things I got to get done, but if you saw his, this is going to be the same format of both of our rounds are going to be together. So he recorded his and sent it to me. I did the same thing for Mistwood and he put his up. So just for consistency wise, it's going to be me here. I'm going to play the hole first and then it's going to be him. And we're just going to keep alternating back and forth from hole to hole. So should be pretty fun to be able to see back and forth. But definitely go check him out. For his, there was a little bit of miscommunication on the first one. For his, I didn't use wind on Mistwood. I didn't use wind, and he did. He had it on breezy. So for this one, just to keep things fair and equal, he had no wind, and I'm using just the 1 to 10 miles an hour. So with my swing changes anyways, again, not the highest hopes. So there's going to be some pretty bad mishits, I would assume. There's going to be, for me playing a draw, there's going to be some blocks out to the right, and there's probably going to be some hooks. And who knows, the distances I've been seeing, as you would expect from playing a draw to a fade and or slice, I've been getting more distance on a lot of my shots, so some of these yardages could be all over the place too, long and short, etc., but we'll see. First hole, he did a really good job talking through his. Again, he picked Mistwood. That was his high school course. I didn't have I didn't play high school golf, so I didn't have a home course, but I figured for this one it would be fitting. For my very first channel, or my very first video that I ever put up on the channel was Richmond Country Club, the on-course video. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. That was the very first video I recorded, even before I got the R10. So I figured we'd do that one. I'm going to kind of try to talk through some of these holes, like the layout-wise and how I would play it on course. I thought it was pretty cool. And again, definitely go check out his channel. He has really good both instructional videos and simulator videos. He's a PGA professional, so he's much more knowledgeable about golf in general and swings and everything else, and even simulators. He's got a couple simulators, so he's really knowledgeable about that. Go over and check his channel out, and go specifically to that Mistwood video if you guys like me and him playing head-to-head, and also this style of format of video of both of the rounds together. Go over and leave him some comments suggesting that we should do some more, and tell him that I sent you, so I would appreciate that. But here we go. We're using the same weather settings besides the wind, 5,300 feet altitude, 65% humidity, and 85 degrees. He thought it was pretty accurate yardage wise, so that's what I've been using here for the past couple months. Took my time. Today is about 55 degrees. Yesterday was about 50, so 2 pretty mild days in a row. Again, this is the first round that I played, so I kind of went out here and went a little overboard trying to cement some of my swing changes in, again, some practicing before this one. I had still have a pretty nasty burst blister on my left thumb, so it kind of hurts to grip the club, but and my back's not feeling the best. But took my time before, hit about 40 shots on the range, did some 56s, some pitching wedges, and some 7-irons, a lot longer warming up than I usually take, but we'll see. Sometimes that's golf. Some days you're feeling good, some days you're not, so it is what it is. But let's get going. first hole is a par 4, 343 yards. I've played this course here at Richmond on the simulator a couple times. The main difference on this one is pretty straightforward. The tee boxes are a little bit elevated. That tree there on the left in the fairway isn't there. I don't know if that used to be there. Besides that, most of the holes were pretty accurate from what you would see, but basically for this type of shot, I just aim somewhere out by, there's a hill, the next tee box is over to the right. I just aim somewhere out to the right over there and try to put something kind of up there. So that's where I'm going to go, hopefully draw one back, and we'll see. Grab some Gatorade real quick before we get started. Making sure everything's still recording here. It looks like we're good. A little bit of a lengthy intro there, but I wanted to get across some of those things that I had on my mind. The other one last thing I really wanted to mention was, again, go check out Scott's video. He does a good job explaining his different style of playing and talking through shots and yardages, club selections, everything. And he had a really cool story about Bo Jackson on that round, so I won't spoil it. Go check that out. As for this, here we go. Didn't hit driver before to kind of save my back. Probably not the best idea, but hopefully we get something out there. Been seeing some higher ball speeds and some more forgiveness with this newer driver, so here we go. It's gonna overcook left. Man, I hit that decent too. Guess Garmin didn't like that one. I probably did too much talking beforehand. Maybe that waggle it didn't like. I hit that decent too. That was gonna overcook a little bit left up the left side, but we aimed right. See if I can do that again, unfortunately. Oh, that was way worse. That was a duck hook left. And that's 2 in a row now. All right, talk about some breakfast balls. Not sure what's going on there. The Garmin's still blinking between red and green. It's blinking green. Not sure why those two didn't register. Third time's a charm, maybe. Oh, and I'll probably get that one. Yep, typical. That was terrible. That was low off the club. Hopefully it runs out. All right, we're in play. First one was the best. Second one, not so great. That one was the worst, and of course it picks it up, but it is what it is. All right, second shot, we're in the rough. We've got 103, 1 mile an hour wind to the right. Again, trying to draw these, so we'll see with some of this wind. So we got 103, 10%, we'll add another 10 yards. We need 113. I'm gonna go a little choke down pitching wedge. I'm not going to mention and go through a whole lot of my swing changes because I have a whole series coming out about that, so I'm going to kind of not try to spoil that, but essentially just working on hitting more inside to out and playing that draw amongst a bunch of other things. But choke down pitching wedge, let's see what we can do here. I might need to get down. All right, pretty good shot there.
All right, challenged at Richmond Country Club. So this is my away match. So we're gonna go ahead and play it. Lots of trees on this one, it appears. Lots of trees. So we're gonna have to aim it down the right to avoid this tree off the start, I believe. And then we'll go from there. So we'll see what we got. Let's see, as long as we clear that tree, I think we're okay. All right, so not a bad start, 72 in the rough, gonna be losing some yards. I believe we're good, slightly leaning left. Slightly, but we'll see. So, hold on. 2, lob wedge. I don't think that's going to get there. Go. Just like clipped it, didn't drive it. So not all the way there. All right, what do we got here?
Birdie to start it off. That's surprising. Granted, we had 3 tee shots, but all right, second hole, we're 1 under, par 4. This is another one on course, pretty straightforward. You can see the green from the tee box. There's trees, there's a heavy tree line on the left, and then these trees on the right that you're seeing. There's another hole on the other side. So I have been in there a good amount of times. You can kind of play through some of those trees. Obviously, that's not ideal, but it is somewhat open over there to the right. So I am going to aim up there. That bunker in play, I try to be just over that bunker to the right side, those 2 little bunkers that you're seeing. So we're going to go there. Let's see if the driver will actually pick these up. That was a better swing. I'll take that. Don't need that tee. I don't know what I'm doing. All right. 269 in the fairway. I got to remember to keep, I'm not used to playing with the wind. I got to remember to keep an eye on that. So we've got 162 left, up 1. This feels almost 4 now. I've been doing so much work on the driving range. I don't even know if I looked at the elevation on that last shot. I gotta remember to keep an eye on these metrics. I've just been grinding on the swing changes, hitting ball after ball after ball on the range. All right. This may be a little bit longer of a video because of that. I'm kind of still getting back into Home Tee Hero for the first round here. But so 162 up 1. We got the wind hurting a little bit to the right. So we got 163. I'm going to go 9-iron, full 9-iron, because again, if I can hit these good and get a little bit of a draw on them, I have been seeing so far, it's still kind of cold out and compared to regular golf season weather, and I'm bundled up, but I have been seeing 5, almost 10 yards increase in distance because of the draw. So we'll see if we can put something about 160 up there at this green. Oh, caught it heavy. That's gonna be short left. Big bounce. That's not gonna get there. Had a little bit of a draw on it, but not very good contact. All right. Luckily, we're in the fairway, so no reduction in power from the rough. Still got that 1 mile an hour wind, no slope. 23 yards here. So I'm gonna go 56 degree and take a little bit off of my regular 30-yard shot here that I have with this. So popped it up to the left. That might be too much. That's probably closer to 30. Yep, 31. Although the back is sore, warmer temperatures here today, so the ball's going just, I'm probably swinging just a tad quicker.
Par 4. This is a very narrow course. 430. Also a longer course than my course. It feels like only 1 set of tees on this one though, so you gotta play it. Driver hit pretty solid, felt like it was a little left. Bounce right somehow, get in the fairway. Thank you. So working on getting that swing a little bit shorter, trying to just shorten it up. you know, golf swing has a law of diminishing returns. You can start to lose power. Start to lose power as you go. So 137, pitching wedge for me. Just a good one. Hit it pretty solid. Let's see, go. Okay. It's just hard to get in. That's a small circle. It's a very small circle. All right, par there.
Well, we gave the stroke back. All right, third hole, par 3. We're even. We've got 183. For whatever reason, a couple summers in a row, there was like, I forget what they're called. They're called like army wasps or something like that. This tee box and the last green on 2, they had all kinds of holes here at Richmond, and you have to be real careful. Sometimes you would have to move the ball, you'd have to run up, hit the ball, and run away before you got stung. So luckily we don't have that here in the simulator, but 183, up 1, 2-mile-an-hour wind, so we got 184. I'm gonna go 7-iron, see if I can make some better contact than that 9-iron last time. It's gonna be straight, but it was thin. Wow, that's lucky. Got a generous bounce there from that rough. Those are the kind of shots that I'm talking about here with the swing changes.
Let's take a look. Par 3, here we go. Let's see what we got. 183. 183 for me is a good just 6. So that's what we will do. Just a nice 6-iron. Hit that good. That might be too much. Hit that good. Ah, it's fading a touch. Sit. Ah. Hit it too good, faded it. And now we're in the 3-putt. Ah. Brutal. That 3-putt zone.
I have gone through periods where I've been hitting them well, but all right, 4th hole, par 5, 3-mile-an-hour wind this time. This is a big old dog leg right on course. This is one of the tougher holes on the whole course. Pretty much the tree line over here to the left, everything runs down. There's a pretty big hill over there, and everything runs down to the left. And these trees here on the right are really big. So I think I can cut the corner a little bit here on the simulator. Usually you can't really do that. You either have to get real lucky. I've been too much of a straight shot sometimes and been into the woods and had to take a drop over there to the left sometimes, and this tree line is a little more forgiving than it is in real life, but we're gonna aim there and see if we can just draw it back just a little. Right there should be decent. That's going to be more of a straighter fade type shot than a draw. Get through those trees. Alright, we got it to work. It's not going to get a whole lot of rollout in that rough, but alright, we've got that tree is there in real life. We're right where the marker is to aim. There's a big tree over there on the right side that is realistic. So we're gonna go here, and I think I'm not super confident in general with hybrids, and especially with the swing change. I've been working more so on irons than anything else. The driver is obviously a different swing, and even hybrids are somewhat in between. driver and iron swing, so I think I'm going to lay up. You don't usually see me do that here, but I'm going to lay up and go 4 iron. Right there where we're aimed is 211, down 1, so we've got 210, but with the rough, that's going to be an extra 20 yards, almost 30 yards there, so hoping to get something around 210, 215, and that with the 30-yard reduction there. If I can hit one decent, that'll be closer to, what is that, like 185 maybe, if it's going to play that. Caught it a little heavy. That's gonna draw back. Oh, we caught the tree on top of it. That's tough. All right, luckily it's a par 5. Let's see if we can stick this green. 135 left. We're in the rough, so we'll add another 14 yards to that or so. So we're looking at 145, 149, so right at 150. I'm gonna go 9 iron to just take a little bit, a little bit off of it. 3 mile an hour wind helping. Left that out to the right a little bit. It's coming back, but not a whole lot. That was kind of a block. Get inside the circle. Is that going to be a +2 or a +3? Good distance, +3, man.
It'll get you. All right, let's see if we can get it back. Par 5. 557. All right, here we go. So let's take a look. 253 to there. So it feels like I have to have some bit of fade to this. That's not a fade. That's a pull. Hit a tree hard. Or something. I hit it hard. Yep, in the trees. So what's it do? Huh. That's harsh. I don't know if that's OB or not, but that hurts. That hurts. That would have changed the way I played the hole. Knowing that, I would just hit 3-wood because I'm not getting there anyway. So I would have just hit like a 3-wood or something, but oh well. So now we're hitting 3-wood, just trying to advance it. Would have liked to have been in the fairway, but we're not. So now we're going to have 150 yards out of the rough. So that's going to play 165-ish. So we're going to hit a smoothish 7. I don't think I can get 8 there. Hit it good. Just trying to stay up and over the tree, coming down on it. Get in that circle. I need one. Oh, come on. That would have been nice. So we're going to walk off, I think, with double. Oh, just a bogey. Okay.
Needed a little more. Those are the shots I'm talking about. Trying to play a draw, and when you have to really start hitting targets, it's going to get tough. That right there, granted that was better than some of the other ones, but that shot right there is why I've been holding off playing Home Tee Hero, and especially going on course. Not that it's necessarily golf weather, but it's pretty daunting. It's not as bad here because I can just kind of aim to the right side of the net, but I can imagine when I really go out on course and have to start hitting some shots, it's going to be pretty daunting to aim up the right side and have the worry in the back of my head that it's not going to come back and I slice one. But 5th hole, par 3, we're 1 over. This is a real short par 3, depending on where you play it. From the whites, sometimes it's like right around 100, 120, something like that. So this is a little bit longer from the further back tees, but I've actually almost got a hole in one here on this hole. I put it with about 6 inches and it spun, which was unfortunate, but let's see if we can get a good one here. We got a 5-mile-an-hour wind hurting. We've got 141 up one, so 142. Gonna go choke down 9-iron. I don't know if that's going to come back a whole lot. Kind of just more of a straight, almost push shot. Oh, that's going to get down. Man, that's some of those distances increase that I'm talking about. I choked down a good inch on that too, and we're off the back. Pretty solid contact though. Alright, 16 yards coming back. We're in the rough, so we'll add another 2 yards to that. Plus we got the 5-mile-an-hour wind helping. So we need around 18. Slightly less because of that wind, but not a whole lot. I think it was Joe Legowski. I was watching a video recently, and he said he was doing GS Pro, but said that the wind for every mile an hour, that's the percentage you would add. So 5 mile an hour, 5%. Seems kind of low. I'm not sure. Garmin probably has some different calculations than GS Pro, but let's see what we can do here. Going 60 degree. Gonna get something on the green here. Pulled it left, but should be on. Alright. Got a stroke back there, I believe. Actually, no.
Alright, we need some birdies. I haven't made a birdie on this, I don't think. 141. Let's get it there. I've not been getting them there. So we're gonna go 9. Just making a little adjustment. Normally I'd hit wedge. And that's hit terribly. Should be out to the right, but hey, I'll take it right at it too. Bite. Does that go just outside? Oh man, I mean I didn't deserve that good of a shot. That's for sure.
Actually, no, we didn't, because we went off the back. That was a par. Luckily, we didn't drop one. All right. 6th hole, par 4, dogleg left. This hole and the 9th hole is essentially the same exact hole. You want to be somewhere up over here to the right side. I'm going to aim there and hopefully draw something back. Considering the goal is to have the driver video, the new driver video out, so this is the TaylorMade Sim 2. It's an 8-degree driver, and I have it turned up 2 degrees to 10. So with TaylorMade, and I know a lot of the other manufacturers are similar, for every 1 degree up or down, it shuts the face that much. So for this, for example, 8 degrees turned up to 10, it shuts the face 4 degrees, so it's 4 degrees closed. So definitely a draw-based driver in this setting, which should help me bring it back. Sometimes I hook them and overcook it, but oh, like that. That's just a hook left. Hopefully it gets lucky. It might catch those trees. Yep. Pretty bad swing there. Low on the club face, off the heel. I think I was standing a tad too close to that. Oh, and it's a penalty stroke on top of that. Love it. Well, what are we gonna do here? So it's wanting us to, we got 240 left. This is a big tree in front though. I think I'm gonna have to punch out and go over here, unfortunately. Still have that tree hanging out, but right there is 93 yards, 6 mile an hour wind, up one, so 94 plus the 10%. I've said it in a bunch of other videos. In my experience, the 10% is of the hole, not of the shot. So although we only have 93 yards there punching out, it's going to be another 25 yards on top of that. So I need a good 115 here. So I'm going choke down pitching wedge. out there back into play. Struck it decent. All right, now get down. All right, that's all we needed there. Unfortunately, we dropped a stroke. Terrible tee shot, and we got a penalty stroke, so we're fighting against it here. 166 left, up 1, 6-mile-an-hour wind, hurting. So we need 167. I'm gonna go choke down 8-iron. I may be able to muscle up a 9 and get it to the front side, but I think it's probably better off to take maybe choke down about an inch on the 8-iron and try to hit. Usually I play my 8-iron to about 170, 175, but with the draw, it's been going 5 to 10 yards further. So again, kind of still a little bit of a guessing game going on here with yardages, but we'll see what we can do here. Left it out to the right. And we didn't get enough on it. That's gonna be another +3, I think. Yep. Oh man, that's gonna be an ugly score. I don't even want to look at that.
Definitely didn't deserve that. Should have been more right. I mean, I think maybe on the green, but definitely should have been flirting with the birdie circle there. All right, here we go. Let's take a look from this angle. 253. Yeah, we'll just up the right side. Try to give ourselves an angle. Not trying to crush it. So I just kind of smooth driver swing there, because I think driver can go through into these trees, even though that still went through. I did hit that very good though. Okay, so same thing as before. We're gonna hit that 7 again, 10%. So just a 7-iron. Hit that one just a little more full, trying to get up there and release. Oh, man. Just dancing all around it. Dancing all around it right now. Ugh.
All right, we're 4 over, 7th hole, par 5. I like this hole. I've had a birdie and an eagle on this hole. Eagle opportunity was a really good drive, about 300 yards up the right side. Hit a 5-iron onto the green in 2, and then 1 putted, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna aim right side up there. And we're going to aim even a little further because we got an 8-mile-an-hour wind kind of pushing up and to the left. Good news here, I figured. I already recorded the Mistwood. That was on Scott's channel, so at least if I shoot 100 here, at least it's on my channel. And you guys can roast me on my own channel and won't be all of his viewers. Better contact, but still left, and the wind's gonna push it even more. We're in play though, 275. Just into the rough, so we have 196 left. Still that 8-mile-an-hour wind, so I'm gonna aim just a tad right there onto this green, playing that draw again, plus the wind. So 196, then we're gonna have to add, we're in the rough, so 20 yards to that. So we need 220. I'm gonna go 4-iron, and let's see what we can do here. Hopefully catch the front side. Left it out to the right, but hit it decent. Right into the bunker. Been struggling the most with the longer irons, trying to get that draw on them. I really need to work on that. Obviously, as you'd expect, if any of you guys have made swing changes, the longer clubs are usually harder than, obviously, the pitching wedge 9 iron, 8 iron. Easier to get from inside to out and get that draw spin on it. But all right, we've got 22 yards. We're in the bunker, so 20%. Although the bunker, in my experience, like I've said many times, fairway bunkers play, they all say 20, but fairway bunkers in my experience play anywhere from 30-40% reduction, and then greenside bunkers like this play closer to like 40-50, even sometimes 60%. So I think 20% of that would be 4, 40% would be 8, so 30. I think I need somewhere between 30 and like 34 yards here, so going 56 degree. Hopefully we just get on this green. Left again. Alright, we'll take it. Pop that up a tad, but can't complain about that inner circle.
Alright, another par 5. Let's see if we can not mess this up. A little more wide open looking. So definitely a send it hole. But even though I'm going to try to send it, I still got to feel compact. Like, don't let it get crazy. Hit that pretty good. Hit that one pretty good. Somehow fall left. There we go. So I gave it a little more. Now we'll have 170. I hope it's uphill. Nope. All right. We're going with just a smooth 7. Smooth 7. Should be pretty stock for me. Pretty stock one. Nope. Gosh. Get in the bunker or something. Just don't 3-putt it. Okay. So I was worried. I was hoping I hit it worse. I don't know if I'm chipping or not, but okay, 2. All right, got the birdie. I thought I was gonna. All
right, that one we did get a stroke back. All right, 8th hole, short par 4. This is even shorter. A lot of times from the white tees where I play it on course, this is about 260, 270 yard par 4. Driven this green a few times. Let's see. I don't know if we're gonna get 294 out of this drive, but we should come close. Pretty open. There's holes. The 9th hole is on the right side, so pretty open tee shot. You can kind of let one rip here, and you have room both left and right to kind of miss. And there's another hole behind it, so you have room long too. Let's see what we can do. 9 mile an hour wind this time though, pushing it kind of back and right. So I guess we'll go a little bit straighter here. Low on the club face again. That wind's gonna hurt us, but 257, not the best. All right, 37 yards left though. 9 mile an hour wind. I'm gonna go 56. This yardage is kind of in between a little bit less choke down 56 and a further choke down 52. So ball's been going a little bit further with the 56, so I think I'm going to do that, and we'll see. Hopefully the wind doesn't take too much off it. I guess 9 mile an hour, if the percent rule, that would be 10%. so could be playing closer to 40. That was one of those thin pop-ups, but all right, we'll take it. We're getting lucky here with some of these chip shots. We claw another stroke back. We did.
I was like, oh no, I'm gonna hit it, and there's a part of the green that's there, so I was hoping I hit it bad enough to have a chip. All right, we'll try to send it again. Yeah, not fairly wide open here, so. Leftish. Man, hit it good. Just pulled, but I'll take it. That's what happens. I get a little quick. I don't get my body into it enough on the backswing, so we run into that problem. All right, an area I have struggled at is judging these. So we're gonna go third. I'm gonna play it about 27, 28. I'm really gonna play it like my 30-yard shot because I haven't yet to get one there. And we'll see. And then I do hit it 30. Man, I've not judged those well. That's for sure. Those have been a challenge for me. Kind of.
All right, 9th hole here. We're 2 over. Again, similar to, I think it was the 6th hole I said. Dog leg left. You can get aggressive, and I have a couple times taken a line pretty much up and over these trees, going right at the green over there. I've gotten lucky a couple times. I've actually had an eagle on this hole as well. I drove the green and one putted, which is pretty cool. Again, probably not gonna happen today, but we're gonna aim over there. And kind of an aggressive line here, but hopefully we can actually, I'm gonna go a little bit further right, get it up and over these trees. Don't think we're gonna hit a 287, so should be, if we draw one back a little bit, just kind of short right. There's a pretty decent sized hill over there to the right in between this hole and the first hole. I've been on a weird angle trying to hit off that hill before if you leave it too far out to the right, so. And we'll see. I don't remember specifically, but I'm sure it'll probably represent it pretty good. But usually the front 9 here at Richmond, there's a lot of big trees, big pine trees kind of lining a lot of these fairways, but the front 9 is definitely a good amount more open than the back 9. The back 9, there's some more narrow dog legs that you have to lay up and hit irons off of, and some more narrow fairways, so that should get interesting on the back 9. So let's see if we can finish this front 9 off with a decent tee shot here. Still low on the club face and off the heel. That might be in the trees. Go through. Nope. Don't give us a... Oh man, it's another penalty. Not doing ourselves any favor here with the new driver. That's tough. 10-mile-an-hour wind pushing it that way too. Alright, I guess we have to... Yeah, it'd be dumb to go that way. We gotta go out here. So, we need 174 right there, plus we'll call it another 20 yards because we're in the rough. The wind is luckily pushing it to the left towards the green, so we need about 194. I'm gonna go 5-iron. Depending on how I hit this, it might be a little too much, but let me just double check. We got a little bit of room. I'm gonna go 6-iron just in case. I'd rather be a little bit shorter than long, and in case with the draw, if I actually catch one good, could see this 6-iron that I usually play to 190 closer to 200 on this shot, depending on how I hit it. Heavy and low, but It might work. That was pretty sad. So 172 plus for the 20 yards or whatever, so that was about 192. 42 yards left, down 1, 10-mile-an-hour wind now helping, so I've got to take about 4 yards or so off of this, I think. So we are at 41 yards with the slope, and then take a little bit off of that again, so we're looking at right around 37 or so. I'm gonna go 56. Let's see if we can catch this green. The parking lot is behind this hole and all the way up the left side, so kind of a hairy shot here. You have a bunch of cars behind you on this one. Luckily I don't have to worry about it here, but still, even just playing this, I have that in the back of my head. Popping them up too much. I'm getting them to work, but I think I'm having my weight a little too far back. I'm kind of leaning back and adding some extra loft to some of these shots. Double bogey, geez.
Kind of comes from, you know, when I played the GS Pro, where you get a little more, hey, it's going to run out, do this, do that. I'm not really sure what it's going to do on this. So just, you know, just one of those things. All right, we're going to see if we can turn one just a fraction. Just a fraction. Not going to try to murder this. I'm just going to try to just smooth turn it into the tree and into the fairway. There we go. That's why I'm not the greatest drawer of the ball with the driver. And that would be exactly it. All right, 143, slightly down. I'm gonna hit 9 again because I'm just struggling to get there a little, it feels like. Well, that was just awful. That wasn't the one. That wasn't the one. Let's see what we get. In the rough. Okay. Not sure if the tree's in the way, but we'll just assume it's not. So, all right, gotta go just a fraction under what I did on that other one. That felt better. Oh, I think I waggled. That waggle gets me. Can't waggle. That's gotta go, I think. Go. Those pitches, man, they kill me. Those pitches are what hurts. Should be like 2 or 3 better. Oh well.
All right, onto the back 9. We're 4 over. Pretty hot and cold golf here. This is another big dog leg left. Usually all I do is hit about 9-iron out to the middle over here. There's a, it's not here, but there's usually a big tree. There's that bunker there. Usually right where I'm aimed, there's a little bit actually before that where the shadow is, kind of over here. There's a big tree in the middle of the fairway that you just gotta lay up towards. But it looks like the mapping on this is slightly off, so I think I can actually get aggressive and hit driver here. We're gonna aim there and see what happens. Try to get some strokes back here. A little bit better, but left it out to the right. Still kind of low on the club face. A little more towards the toe on that one, but it'd be nice once I finally square one up. All right, 80 yards left, 10-mile-an-hour wind. I don't even know if I looked at the wind on that tee shot. 80 yards down 2, and then 10 miles an hour helping. So we're gonna take 8 yards off of that. So we're at 78. We need 70. I'm gonna go 52 degree, choke down 52. Let's see. It's been a little while now since I've been having to play some of these touch shots, working on just my irons. The wedges, I'm going to keep my swing pretty much the same, not trying to put a whole lot of spin. Either way, you want to hit your wedges relatively straight, so not trying to draw the wedges, so I haven't really even worked on these, but let's see if I can dial up a 70-yard shot here. It's going to be left. All right. A little bit short, but we got it there.
I think we'll have some chances. Coming in here. Let's do it. 350. I think we're just going to take the mantra of just send it. We're hitting it solid enough where it's like, all right, let's just get up there and let's see what we can do. All right, so somewhere up that left center-ish side. Oh, I hit that good. I hit that real good. Should have aimed at the green. I like that one. That's a good swing. 73 is kind of what I was hoping for, because 10% is going to put me right at 80. And if I hit a good, got to be careful. I just don't want this one to ride up the face. That was better. See if I got it there. Oh, it drifted right. Had the yardage. Hit that one a lot better though, so it didn't ride up the club face, which is what those other ones do.
#11th hole, par 5, another one. This is not really a driver hole. I'm not even sure it is here. Yeah, it's really not. Could get real dumb and go that way, but we're not doing. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to play like I do in real life, and this is a better line anyways, not over there, but something right up here. Usually I hit a 5-iron off this tee, and yeah, right there, about 207. Usually I hit 5-iron on the dogleg left. There's a hill over there on the left where that bunker, it traps a lot of stuff. So let's see if we can aim out this way. Just going to go 5-iron and hopefully come up just a tad short of those bunkers somewhere in the fairway. What's the wind doing? 10 mile an hour wind helping, so 10% of that'll be 20 yards. Oh boy. Maybe that way. If we hit one good at 20 yards, is going to do a lot to it, but so far I'm liking that. It seemed to work on the wedge shot, so shout out to Joe Legowski. I'm pretty sure it was him for the percentage thing with the wind. Maybe I'll start playing with a little more wind if I can get a good idea of what it's actually going to do. A little bit low, but got a little bit of a baby draw onto it. Pretty good shot there. All right, 247 left to the hole. We do have some room here. It opens up a little bit after you get around that corner, so I think I'm gonna go hybrid here. Play something up there. I'm having a tough time drawing the hybrids, plus we're got a 10 mile an hour wind pushing it that way, so it's gonna play a good amount that way. So I'm gonna aim up here a little bit towards the left, and I'm gonna go 3 hybrid. Not trying to kill it, but just put something hopefully short left up there. If I can, still come a little bit from the inside on this, but or just hit a ground ball. Alright. Luckily that was such a bad shot, the Garmin didn't even pick it up. That's the worry with the hybrids. We'll give it one more time, and then I'll go. If I do that again, I'll just go 4-iron. That would hurt my thumb too. Way left. It's pushing it back though. That was probably a little generous. That was a pretty poor swing. All right, we're somehow right in front of the green here. We got 22 yards, 10% or 10-mile-an-hour wind, which will be the 10% on that. So take basically 2 yards off of it. So we need a 20-yard shot. I'm gonna go 60 degree. Should be decent. Went up and over the net though. Oh, let's go. And we chip it in. That helps the scorecard. I knew I hit that decent. Eagle? All right.
All right, par 5. Here we go. Let's do it. Oh, 416. So, big tree issue here. Huh. So this gets interesting. You know, do I hit, you know, do you even hit driver? This doesn't really make sense to. I'm gonna try this club that I hate right now. I go through such a love-hate with this club. When I'm hitting it good, I love it. When I'm not, it gets a little bad. So we're gonna try this 2-iron. And I hit that so bad. It's gonna be fine, but it's like, I'm trying to hit it 220 yards, 230 yards, and I just hit it so bad, and it's just clink out there. It's like, geez. Just no confidence. Like, the club's got to go just from the, you know, it's a good club, but I'm gonna have to get rid of it because I can't, I mean, I just can't get over it and say, yeah, this is gonna work. Just not at all. All right, 3-wood, send it up as much as we can. Aimed a little right because it looked like we were on some sort of leftward slope. I did hammer that. I'll take it in the circle. I did hammer it. Hey, it works out, only hitting that 168-yard 2-iron. Okay. There we go. Back.
All right, 12th hole, par 3. This is actually a really tough, this is probably the toughest par 3 on the course. That tree line on the right, there's a massive, massive hill. Everything, if you're even close to the cart path runs up there, if you're anywhere close to that, it's gonna hit and bounce down and go off the abyss to the right. So, in the green, you can see a little bit here. You can see the green's kind of sloping that way a little bit because of that. 203, down 1, so I'm gonna go 5-iron. What's the wind doing? 9 miles an hour helping, so, actually. So 10%, if that's the case, 9-10%, that's gonna be 20 yards. So this could actually play closer to 180, 190. I guess I'll go, if that's the case, we'll see about this wind. I'm gonna go 7-iron then, I guess, and try to play like 180, 185 maybe. We'll see. I absolutely murdered after when I was having got into a good pocket in a good rhythm of hitting some draws. I murdered one of these 7-irons when I really stepped on one and kind of swung out of my shoes. I hit it like 201 or something like that with this 7-iron. So hopefully I don't do that. I'm not going to try to murder it, but let's see. Start one up that right side, kind of draw one back. Or catch it heavy. That's going to be short left. Man, that was bad. Not what you want to do on a par 3. So we got 31 yards left. We're in the rough, so we got to add another 3. So we're down 1. 3 from the rough will be 33. And then 9, it's kind of helping up to the left, so we're going to aim slightly right, and I'm going to go, that could be another, it's not directly helping, but it could be another 2-3 yards on top of that, so I think I need about 27. I'm going to go 56, take just a little bit off of that 30-yard shot. Could be good. I don't know. That was what I was trying to do. Maybe the wind didn't help as much. Maybe I didn't calculate that right. That was put a good swing on it, but just I guess not enough.
Back on the birdie. I want to get this one. We got to get this like under. So I don't know where I'm at. We're at 1 over. 1 over right now. So 203. That's going to be like a 5. 5, just a good 5. Hit it good. Fading a little. Don't catch the back part of the green. Get off the green. Thank you. Okay. A little far for a 5, but that's okay. All right, 15. Let's see if we can chip one in close. So it's, you know, a 17-yarder. Let's see. There we go, go in. Hey, we got an up and down. Like that. That would be how I'd expect to play that hole. All right, a couple more. We got to get 2 more.
Bogey. Very hot and cold right here. All right, 13th hole par 4. This is one of my favorite ones on the course. Pretty wide open. A little bit narrow tree line left and right, but straightforward shot. You can kind of rip one up there and you have some room. So we're gonna go right there. What's the wind doing? Hurting. That was horrendous, and it picked it up. That was about as low on the club face as I could hit it down here on the heel. That was terrible. As you can see, still not the most comfortable with this driver yet, but a lot of changes here for 2023. All right, 185 left. Still got that wind hurting. No slope, no rough reduction, so I'm gonna go 6-iron because of that wind. 185, usually that would be, I could probably get a 7, muscle up a 7 and get it there, but I think I'm gonna grab the extra club, go 6-iron. Kind of draw one in, hopefully, against that wind. Left it out to the right. Hit it good though. Hit it too good. Oh, don't be a penalty. All right, we're in the rough. And we're right behind this stupid tree. So what are we gonna do here? We could go right, so we could go over there, but we're still into the tree, so I guess we'll stay at it. Don't love this. This is a tough shot. There's a good chance no matter what I do here, this catches the tree. So we've got 29 yards to the pin. We're in the rough, so we'll add another 3, and then the 8, probably about 2 yards on top of that. So what is that? 32, 35 maybe, plus whatever this tree's gonna do. I'm gonna go 56, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, even if it catches the tree, it just kind of slows it down a little bit, and we still catch the front side of the green, or this right side, front side to me. I don't know if I put enough on that, especially with the tree. Alright, we snuck it through. Caught that a little bit heavy.
So we should have a 5 left. So we're gonna have to throw a dart in on a 4. So we'll see. All right. .418 driver, just sending it. Uh-oh. That's right. Getting a little lucky that it's even that close. Oh, I don't like the look of that. Trees, that's going to be a penalty. Brutal. That tree penalty is kind of brutal. All right, so we got to advance this. I'm going to try to just hit a low, like, bullet. Kind of a bullet, like, cutty thing. Just stay under the trees, advance up the fairway, and then go from there. Should have about 130-ish, 120. Yeah, 121. So that's what we got to do. And then we just got to get out of here with Bogue. I'm guessing they do that tree thing because they can't really have you play out of it software-wise. And honestly, it's probably like a stroke penalty anyway, being in those trees, because you're just going to pitch it out. Although, you know, I wouldn't pitch it out 200 yards back, most likely, but could be out of bounds too.
All right, 14th hole, par 4. Gonna play it up there, hopefully draw one in. I can feel myself, wind's hurting 6 miles an hour. I can feel myself, not really with the driver, because again, that's a little bit different, but I can feel myself with those iron shots, those past couple. I can feel myself starting to get back into some of my older swing, trying to guide the ball and keep it straighter versus committing out to the right and worrying it's not going to come back, even though it's only into a net. But I think it goes to show I have a good amount more work to do with committing to that draw shot shape. Finally, something that resembled the middle of the club face. Left it out to the right a little bit, but that should be better. That one had some pop to it. I think the wind in the rough kind of hurt that one a little bit, but we'll take it. 99 yards left. We're in the rough, 6 mile an hour wind. Oh boy. So we'll call that 100. We'll call it another 10 because we're in the rough, so 110, and then maybe another 6. 110-ish, so maybe like 115. I'm gonna go choke down pitching wedge. Caught it heavy. I guess it's a good thing we did. If I hit that cleaner, that probably would have been off the back. Still a little bit short, but
so that double hurts the old chances. Let's see. 326. Obviously gonna give it a go. Let's see. We gotta double check that it's aiming us where I think it's aiming us. So yeah, right there's fine, as long as we can go over the trees, which looks like we should be able to do. Oh, I hit that so good. That one was hit very centered. Very centered. All right, 63. So playing what, 69, so 70. Here we go. Just slightly under full wub wedge. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Bladed it. Oh, man. Did I get it? Nope. Oh, man. Frustrating.
we'll take that par. All right, 15th hole, par 3, moving along. We're still 4 over somehow. Pretty horrendous shots in there, but we've gotten lucky on a few. That chip and eagle helped. 206. This one, it falls off everything. There's the car path on the left usually, and everything falls off. If you miss it left, it runs up there towards the next hole. 206 down 2, so 5 mile an hour helping. I'm gonna go 5 iron, see if I can catch something a little bit cleaner. Nope. Thin and right. Get through the bunker. Right into it. That just sounded awful too. I think I'm pulling up, picking my head up too quick, watching where it goes. I gotta stay down and through the ball a little bit more. Alright. Another bunker shot here. 5 mile an hour wind, so 23 yards, the bunker. 20% would be 4 yards, 40% would be 8 yards. I think it's probably going to be closer to like 10, 12 yards. So let's just the 5, take a yard or 2 off from that. So 10 yards would be 33. I think I need something around 30, 35 yards. Going 56. Oh, and I thin it. Get lucky. That was horrendous. That would have been off the green in real life, but luckily, Home to Hero pretty forgiving with the chip shot since there's no putting.
Is the key word. Frustrating is the key word. It's just on those little shots, they're hard. They're hard. All right, 5 iron. Uh-oh. Felt right. Yep. Hit it hard, but felt right. All right, my favorite. I can't figure these out, so we'll keep trying. Let's see. 25. 25. 10, so again, right around that 30-ish mark. Felt like I hit that less, but it went really far. Oh well. All right.
Another drop stroke. That was generous too on top of that from that wedge shot. All right, 16th hole par 5. This is another really tough one on course. Again, you have to either commit to the trees actually stick out a little more on this right side. Similar to there, you have to either get real lucky and hit it real high up and over those trees, or you got to kind of lay something up left. But this is a long hole, so you got a good like 300 yards going back towards the right if you lay up. And there's that tree line, so everything runs through to the next hole if you hit something too straight and too far left. So what are we gonna do here? Luckily here, I think we got a little bit of wiggle room, so I'm gonna go right at that last tree right up there, and we'll see what happens with the driver. This isn't really a driver hole in real life, but I got a couple strokes to make up here, I think. Hit that last drive decent too, so let's see if we can keep something relatively straight, start a little bit right. Didn't murder it, but pretty good contact. I'll take that. Didn't even look at the wind. Wonder if the wind was helping on that one. Alright. Got lucky, cut the corner. 205 left, down to 3-mile-an-hour wind. That's not a whole lot, so I'm gonna go 5-iron. That was better. Not a whole lot of draw on it, but that was better contact. All right, we'll take that. Having a tough time with the draw swing, obviously in general, but
Let's see what we're gonna have now. 16, par 5, here we go. .252. This is so you could just tell, having not played here, and you can't really tell the graphics, right? But you can just tell it is a very, very, narrow course. This is in Rhode Island, so that kind of classic northeast course is what I'm visualizing. Is it, very, very tight. Would like to fade this. That was the goal. I don't feel like I faded it that much, but I'll take it. So that worked out well. We're going to be in perfect spot. So we're going down. So I'm going to hit 6. Just a smooth 6. Didn't hit it terrible. Maybe a touch to the right. Come on, roll up there. Okay, not bad. Just felt a touch right.
But ball placement on some of the longer irons, and again, like I mentioned, getting more of that draw right to left on the longer irons. They seem like to be more blocks and just kind of straighter shots out to the right. I have a harder time. Maybe I gotta bring my hips through just a little bit more to kind of square up the club face and get the ball to go left a little bit more. But 2 holes left for 4 over. Par 3, 17th hole. We've got 161 down 1, 2-mile-an-hour winds, not doing a whole lot. So just gonna go stock 9-iron. Usually play the 9 anywhere from 150 to 160, right around 155, but with the draw, if we put a good swing on it, we could get 160, 165 out of this, depending on contact. Struck it decent. Nope. Some reason, hopefully that didn't mess up the video. Decent shot, but for some reason I've never seen that happen before with I have a charger plugged in.
17, par 3. Give us a shorter one. Okay, I'll take 161. We're gonna hit just a smooth little 8. Well, I hit that very solid, so I think it needs to sit. Bites, right there. Thank you. That one I hit very good. All right, we got a couple there. Those tree shots really hurt. And my short game has not been stellar, we'll just say that.
External battery pack, that was strange. That's going to be unfortunate from the second to last hole. It looks like we're all right, but that's going to be unfortunate if it messes things up. All right, folks, final hole here, 4 over, number 18, 326. Not the longest hole ever, but as you'll see here, there's a very narrow landing strip, and right between those two bunkers is the driving range shack. So you can't really be right here. You got a little bit of room if you're like over here towards the right. There's some room, it kind of opens up a little bit, but obviously over here is where the driving range shack is. You can't really be there, and this is only probably a 5 to 10 yard landing strip over here by the if I can move it, over here by the water. So pretty tough shot, and there's a little bridge that's pretty cool that goes from this middle section of the right over here. There's a bridge that goes across to the clubhouse, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool looking hole, but not the easiest. So let's see what we can do here. 311, no shot we hit it that far, but luckily we have some extra room to play with here on Home Tee Hero than we usually would. I'm gonna aim up there, and we'll see what happens with the driver. This is one of those shots, if you hit driver here, a lot of people lay up, but if you hit driver, it's kind of hit and pray that you catch the landing strip and you don't end up in that water. This is one of those, you want to avoid bunkers obviously, but this is one if you hang one out a little bit right, you're fine if you catch the bunkers on the right. A little bit low on the club face, decent swing though. Hung it out to the right. Really liking the way this driver sounds with the carbon, that almost dead sound. Got a water bottle rolling around here in the wind. All right, 91 yards left. We're in the rough, so we'll add another 10 to that. So we're looking at 109. No slope, only 1 mile an hour wind, so, or not, excuse me, not 109. We're at 101. That would have been not great if I hit 109. So yeah, 90 yards, 10%, call it, yeah, 90, 91, so right around 100. Just gonna go choke down pitching wedge. Let's see if we can catch this green and get out of here with a, honestly better than I expected score here. Might have overcooked it a little left. Caught it a little heavy too. Yeah. And another one good. Oh, sit. Man, it's going to be a +3, I think. I was going to say it was a good thing we caught it heavy, but even that, I put too much on it. That's unfortunate. Bogey to finish it.
All right, nice little 4 to finish. What are we looking at? Water, so we can't go. 254 there. It's only 326, so I don't even want to mess with. I could hit 3-wood. Normally I'd hit 3-wood, but I did hit one 270 something yards earlier, so that brings the water into play. So I don't want to do that. And I'm okay if I hit this like 210, 220. You know, and then I just have like a little wedge in, is the idea. So that was just a 4-iron. Didn't want to be in the rough, but that's okay. Out of that, 129 plus 10, 143. 10% that is, 143. So I'm gonna hit just again, a little smooth 9. Hit it very good, so it maybe has to sit. Maybe. Yeah, just a touch, come on. Hit it very good. So, all right, fun course, a lot of chances on it. Definitely some home course there. I mean, but who knows, you can't really see it in here, but you know, 3 over. So we kind of fought through that. A couple of those tree penalties, which again, those are probably penalties anyway, and then just bad chips. Couldn't really overcome that either. So only hit 13 greens is not a bad day. That's actually pretty good. Had the 1 3-putt, I know for sure. Yeah, so 1 3-putt, you know, 36 putts in a round. So some way, shape, or form, we're just not hitting it close enough. So yeah, again, if you have questions about it, make sure you go check out Hosel Rocket's channel. I will link that down below. See how he does. And good luck to him, because he knows the course better than I do, so see what he can do with it. All right, click the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber already. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.
All right, so you guys just saw Scott finish the 18th hole, and you saw him take a look at his scorecard and put his final thoughts in. As you guys saw, he shot a, I believe it was a 3 over 74. So if my memory serves me correct, he beat me by 2 strokes here. So we'll take a look at the scorecard here in quick, but right off the bat, congratulations to Scott on the win. He got me back here. I beat him at his home course, he beat me on mine. Hopefully you guys again enjoyed the back and forth style video of both of them together. We'll take a look at the scorecard quick. So from Richmond Country Club in Richmond, Rhode Island, or Hope Valley or whatever, depending on that territory if you look it up, we ended up with a 5 over 76. So again, like I mentioned, honestly with the swing changes and everything else, the way that I was feeling coming out here, it's actually not too bad. That's better than I expected. I almost thought there was a decent chance I was going to be somewhere 80s or even 90s if I was struggling to hit the ball, but somewhere in the 70s, I'll take it, especially only 5 over. Those balls into the trees really hurt us, but we went 40 on the front, 36 on the back, hit some better shots on the back. Pretty ugly scorecard all over the place. We ended up with 3 birdies on the front, 1 birdie on the back. We had that eagle on 11, which really helped, and then the 2 double bogeys on the front 9 on 6 and 9. That hurt the scorecard the most out of anything. Without those, we might have got the W here, but unfortunately not in the cards. 6 out of 13 fairways. Some of those drives, not so great. The first drive I hit off the day, or off the bat, first tee shot that didn't register. That one was pretty good. Unfortunately, the second one was even worse, and the third one that registered was even worse, but we still ended up with a bird somehow. But we did get lucky on one of those, the hybrid shots that it didn't pick up, so everything usually evens itself out here between misreads and everything else. Yeah, so 6 out of 13 fairways, had some decent driver shots, not the best. We're just under 50%, want to be like usual. Fairways want to be, fairways and greens in regulation, at least 50%, if not closer to 75. Greens in regulation, that's actually not too bad. We'll take that 11 out of 18. And then 32 putts, kind of a lot. We like to be 1.5 putts and under for these. Ideally closer to 1 eventually, but that's pretty tough. You got to be some chip-ins and pretty much everything was inside 1 circle to get there, but not too bad. Overall, we'll take it. Again, unfortunately, didn't get the W here, but I had a good time playing. I'm probably going to hit some more shots here and get some of that draw feeling back into back into the swing. I was kind of going in between and blending the two together a little bit, but again, definitely go check out Scott's channel. Really appreciate him collaborating with me on this one. Pretty cool again to be able to do a video or 2 videos now at this point with someone that again I watched and admired, was a fan of his videos before I even started doing anything here on YouTube. So pretty cool to be able to do something with him. Again, go to his video, leave some positive comments, tell him that I sent you. If you guys want to see more of these, let him know. Appreciate any comments you guys leave down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the next course.